Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to have you here. Happy to see some faces as well. I'm Serena Lizai. I coordinate the European Week for Waste Reduction at European level. Happy to be here today for this Q&A session. As you can see, your microphone is muted because it's a webinar, so we will, let's say we will try to use more the chat to ask questions, but of course feel free also to raise your hand if you really want to express a little bit more. If you asked a question, it was not really clear, if you want to add something, we can open your microphone, so feel free also to write in the chat that you really want to share something with us. So you should be able already to see my screen. So as you can see, we would like, since I see more people are connecting, we would like to break some ice and to know a little bit each other, to know who is there. So we prepare two polls for you. So maybe we can already launch the first. We would like to know how you feel today. In this moment, I know it's here is 4, maybe somewhere is 3, or I don't know if it's 5 somewhere else. So how do you feel today? Maybe it's almost the end of your working day, or maybe it's gonna be quite soon the beginning. So how do you feel today? Share it with us, and let's see if we are in good mood, or maybe if after this webinar you will feel more energetic and ready to jump into this 15th edition of the EWWR. I will also submit my essay. Okay, so I see some answers. So you are quite in good mood. We don't have anyone that is very low mood or not happy to be here. So that's good. That's actually the general vibe in the EWWR. We always have quite active and enthusiastic people. So thanks for sharing this. I don't know if someone voted already, wants to vote and share how you feel. Otherwise, we move to the second question we have for you. Let's see. So which country are you from? So we know that, you know that EWWR is quite active in many countries. We want to see today from where you're following us. So I see England, Portugal, Lithuania. That's great. Portugal is always there. I'm happy to see you. Netherlands, that's good. Monaco, Netherlands, it's very happy to see someone from there since we don't have a coordinator. I see also some from Turkey. Say we'll add some. We are following you from Belgium. That's great. More people are joining us. Okay, so that's great. Also Spain. Okay, Spain is represented. That's very good. I was wondering where it was. Italy, no one from Italy. That's quite weird since we have many action developers in Italy. Okay, so thanks for doing this game with us. I think we can, I see more people connecting, so I think we will go on with this. So maybe we can close the poll. Okay. So we can start today. We have 1 hour in front of us, actually 55 minutes, many topics to investigate. I hope after this webinar I will have replied to all your questions. Maybe just a little introduction, since some of you might not know me. And my colleague, I'm Serena Lizai, and with me today there's also Virginia Matepadilla, my colleague in charge of managing the communication of the EWWR at EU level. And you can see also in the slide is ACR Plus. So maybe 2 words on who is this and who is paying our bills. We are working for this Association of Cities and Regions for Sustainable Resource Management, which is an association that, as I said before, is based in Brussels, and we work with the public authorities to help them to implement at local and regional level policies for promoting and implementing circular economy and sustainable resource management. So, of course, when we talk about circular economy, waste prevention has to be all the time a key topic. And so that's why as ACR Plus, we are part of the EWWR since the very beginning, from like 15 years ago, we joined, we were part of the people that created the campaign. So we are at this moment managing the campaign at European level. So that's why from time to time you might hear this association, this ACR Plus. It's also in our emails. You might also receive sometimes email from us. So this is who we are and what we do. So just to give you an overview of the journey that we will have today, we will go through some questions. So the first that we will explore will be who can join the EWWR, who is behind the EWWR, what you can do, so which action you can organize, and what practically you can do during this week. How you can, this is the main question from usually practically, how you can participate, how you can register an action, how you can win, how you can organize the best action of this edition. And also where, most of the time we receive questions like where I can find all the communication material you're sharing, where I can search for the right information. And so today we will try to give an answer to this as well. And finally, the biggest question is when. So the big deadlines, what to keep in mind, what to fix on your calendar to don't miss anything and to don't miss the opportunity to participate in this week. As you are following us today, I am giving for granted that you know what the EWWR is. So the European Week for Waste Reduction is a call to action to people to organize activities and actions at local and regional level, even national level, to promote waste prevention. So we focus a lot on the 3R, reduction, reuse, and recycle. We try to give as much importance as possible to prevention, to reduction, so to don't produce the waste, which is the best way to be sustainable. So if you agree, we will start going from one step to the other. And at the end of every step, we will open also the possibility to additional question. If something was not clear, this is the right moment for you to ask additional question. So use the Q&A session, the chat. Feel free really to ask all the questions possible. If we don't manage to reply today, at least we will have saved your question and we will be able to include it in the material that we will share after this webinar that will also be translated in more languages. It was mentioned also by Virginia in the chat, but just to keep in mind that this session will be recorded, and we will also share it on with other action developers on our YouTube channel and social media. So let's start from the first step. So who can participate? So many people can participate. Let's start from the biggest group, is the action developer. That mainly is you, because this webinar was made for mainly for action developers. And who are the action developer? Are the people that register action, because as you know, the EWWR goes from it is held in the last week of November, but we collect action in advance. So the action developer has to register one or even more action. You're not called to just register one action, but even more. And then organizing, of course, during the days of the EWWR, which this year is from the 18th to the 26th of November. So we have 5 categories, but at the end, if you think about it, everyone can participate because anyone actually enter in at least one of these categories. The first one is public administration and organization, so mainly it's public authorities that enter in this category. Then business industry, so private company of any kind. They don't have to be related just to the sector of waste or environment. They could be a social media company that are interested in promoting waste prevention, so they can participate. It can be an industry managing, I don't know, even hospital products, so they can participate, involving their colleagues, for example, in the campaign. Then there's the association, NGOs, and the organization of public interest, so all the organizations that might be active more on national level or even more local level, so even very small NGOs. Educational establishment is the fourth one. And it goes from kindergarten to university, so all the steps of the education, and then finally citizen. So could be even a individual citizen. Once we had one kid of 10 years old from Spain that participated by herself and organized an amazing action that was actually the winner of her category. But it could be also a group of citizens, friends. I usually every year try to involve my friends and organize an action. So even a neighborhood association, like group of citizens that work together to promote waste prevention in their local context. And who, let's say this is a little bit where, in the sense that this action developer can be based everywhere in Europe, but we go even beyond the European border because we don't think waste prevention has boundaries. We don't need to have to set this kind of geographical barrier. So if there's an association from Brazil that wants to participate, we are very happy to welcome all the actions. So every year we actually have action from outside Europe. Another part of the people that participate in the EWWR are the participants, in the sense that you might be a person that is enthusiastic about the topic, but you don't have maybe the time to organize an action or to think about an action. You don't have ideas or whatever. You just arrive very late. It's too late to actually register one or to engage people. You go in the category of participants. You find an action that is interesting for you. You check all the information and you join. You can contact the people that are organizing the action, and you can join it in the morning, and you just show up there. And then the last group of people are the coordinators. So together with me and Virginia, we are managing at European level, but at local, in regional and national level, there are other people that are the organization that are helping us, because we wouldn't be able to actually promote the campaign at local level. And the role of coordinator is quite key because they help us to translate, for example, the material in many languages, to get in contact with the local media, for example, and to really have a one-to-one contact with the action developers. To become a coordinators, usually the coordinators are public authorities, so we receive requests from usually Ministry of the Environment or a big organization that are managing, that are aware, and they are expert in the sector of waste prevention, and they just have to fill a charter, send it to us, and then we evaluate and accept them. So the question, who can I contact? So if you have any troubles, like you have a specific question, you can go, and as I said, we are at the moment active on 18 countries that are in Europe that are represented by 35 coordinators, because in some countries, as for example, Italy or Spain, Portugal, we have more than one coordinator, because we have also regional coordinators. So you just have to check the list of coordinators and contact the coordinators or the coordinator of your territory. It can happen that we don't have a coordinator in your country. For example, Netherlands, we don't have one, Romania for the moment. So if you have any question, you can contact the EU coordinator, so me and Virginia, and we will provide to you all the information you need and all the support you need. So these are, keep in mind that you will receive this presentation that I'm sharing now with you, and it's full of links, so you will be able to really find everything you need also on the website. So this was the first session. I don't know, it was quite an easy one, I think, more or less who we are. So I don't know if there are questions. I don't see any, so I would, yeah, I would go on maybe, so that we keep more time at the end. Don't worry, because at the end there will be also, I hope, some time for additional question if you have. So let's jump into what. So what can I do? All the time I say to people, join the EWWR. They're like, I don't know what to organize. Which kind of action should I? So first of all, keep in mind, as I said before, you can register one, but even more than one action. It's really up to you. One important thing you have to keep in mind is that, of course, the action has to consider the topic of this campaign. We are a campaign on waste reduction, so it has to consider the 3R: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So if you have an action related to sustainable mobility, for example, this is not your campaign, let's say. You can somehow find a creative way also to include waste reduction in your action for sustainable mobility, but that's up to you. So you have to check that, be sure you are in the right campaign. Another important point is that this is called European Week. So we are active between this final week of November. So the action you are organizing has to be organized. It has to happen, let's say, during this. Is more than 1 week actually, because it's going this year from the 18th to the 26th of November. What it can happen is that, for example, you have a very interesting initiative that you are doing all over the year. So it might be that, like, at school, the kids are participating in waste reduction activities during the whole year. What you have to do is that during the week, you have to organize an activity that is promoting what you are doing all over the year, or what you did 1 week before, what you are going to do the week after. But it has to happen. Could be social media campaign, it could be a webinar, it could be an info session, it could be even locally, like physically meeting people and promoting your activity on the local square. But it has to happen during those days. Another very important point is that the action has to be free of charge. We don't want action developers. As I said, there are many participants joining the campaign, and they have to be free to participate no matter how money they have in their pocket. So this is a very important criteria. So you can see on the right of this slide that there are some criteria explained, but really you will have access to the link through the link to the Action Developer Participation Charter. So all the time you register an action, you are basically accepting all the rules that are listed in this Action Developer Participation Charter. So have a look at it before registering, because it's giving you all the information on what you can and you can't do. So it might happen, as I said before, that you don't have inspiration. So this can happen to the best of us. So if you need inspiration, go to the archive. That's what I would suggest to you, because we have 15 years of experience of action that has been registered. So what you could do is to go to the archive and see, I don't know, in 2020, what was organized in your country or in your region, because you can you can filter all the action that have been organized by year, but also by country, by category. So if you are a school or if you are an NGO, just filter the action that have been organized in that category, for example. And then also I added the links of the best action of the last edition of the last 3 editions. The best action, I will talk about them about this later, but every year we select the best action among all the 1,000 of action that we get. So why not learning from the best? So go through the link. You will find the description of the best action of the last edition. So this can really give you some inspiration. So this was the second session. Let's see if there are, like, everything is clear for now. I think the how session is the most tricky one. But let's say if everything is going well, I don't know if you're able to put thumbs up if everything is clear and everything is going well. You're not sleeping yet. So I hope it's going well. I see people smiling. That's good. Okay, thanks for the smile. So we move to how. So how is the trickiest one? How do I register an action? So this is the question that we receive the most. So let's start from the first question you have to ask to yourself. Do you have an account on the EWWR website? So if the answer is no, so because you never organized an action, you never heard about the EWWR, this is the first year you are thinking to join it, you don't have an account. So what you have to do is to create one. So when you go to the EWWR website, on the right corner on the top, you will find login and register. You don't have an account, so you have to register one. You have to create one. So to register an account, you can also do it by Facebook or Google. That's quite easy. You just have to put your email and then select a password, and it will be quite fast. You can do it through Google or Facebook. It will be even faster, but feel free to choose which one is better, is the best for you. If if the answer to this question, if you have an account, is yes, because maybe you're an Action developer since many years, you already organized Action, maybe even just last year or 5 years ago, it might happen. What you have to do is to log in. So you have to use your credential. I'm probably the worst to have credential because I never save them. I always think I will remember the password. So it might happen that you don't remember the password. So what you can do is to always click on lost your password, and then you can add your email address, and then get an email that will allow you to define a new password. So this is the best way to do it. So let's say that we passed through this, so we didn't have an account, we registered one, or we had one, we managed to get back our password. So we are in our account. We enter in the EWWR website. So you will be in the back end. What does this mean? That you will see this window with this WordPress window. So with the dashboard. And what you have to do is to click on new, or in my action, you also see the yellow arrow saying click here if you want to manage or add action. So let's say you want to add a new action. You just click on new. What is very important to remember is that for this year, Catalonia, Germany, France, Hungary, and the region of Asturias, they are using external platform. So if you are planning to register an action in one of these territory, just click on where you see external website, and you will go to a page where you have the list of all these external websites. These external websites are managed by the regional or national coordinators in some cases. So they are in local language, so it might be easier for you. But I will show you that actually all the registration form is already translated, so it shouldn't be a problem. Not in all languages where we don't have a coordinator, fortunately, we just have English, but it should be quite easily. So how to register your action, once you click on my action and you can add a new action, you just have to fill this registration form. As you can see, you can select like English, French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, Swedish, Slovenian, Bulgarian, and Turkey. So quite big range of languages. So all the questions are already translated also in those languages. So you will see that going through the registration form, what we are asking you, of course, is the title of your action. So try to be creative. And it can be also in your local language. You don't have to come up with a title in English. It can be in Dutch or in Portuguese, wherever. It's really up to you. And as well for the description, it's up to you to decide which language to write the description of the action. What I would suggest, since this is a community and it's very good, I think a good part of the campaign is that we really share among each other experience. It's always nice, I would say, to add a little paragraph explaining your action also in English, so that it's more inclusive and everyone can understand what you are doing and maybe take inspiration from you. But it is really up to you. So once you fill all the registration form, one of the questions that you can find is, for example, which category you represent. So among the 5 that I described it before, which date you are organizing the action, where you're organizing the action. It could be also that you can specify that the action will be online, because we saw during the 2 years of COVID, we had 2 editions of the week during the COVID pandemic, and many activities, of course, were online. So we decided to add this information. And of course, also there's a very important part where you can add contacts. So you keep in mind that also participants might be people might show up to your event, to your activity. So if you really want to open it, might be that action is just for your colleagues in your office. So in that case, you don't share any contact. But if you really want more people to show up and that they might want to send you an email or call you if they want to know a little bit more, you can share. There's a specific a specific session for that, so you can share a little bit of information about you so that they can get in contact with you and participate in your action. Once you have filled the registration form, you have to publish. So you click on the button publish. I will read the question after, so I see that there are some on this. So what also you can decide, this happened to me as well, for example, that I'm thinking about the action to register. I start filling the registration form, but I need sometimes, let's say, to think about it, to make it perfect, also the description or to add details. So sometimes what you can decide to do is to save it as draft. I go back before, so where you can see on the right, publish, you can also say save as draft. So if you say as draft, is not published, is not public neither. So it's very important that you keep this in mind, because if you don't push on the publish button before the 12th of November, your action will not be visible, and this will not be it will not be possible actually to publish it after. So this is very important. Save your action as draft if you want, but remember that before the 12th of November, you have to make it public. Otherwise, it will not be counted. It will not appear in the EWWR website. You will not be able also to participate in the awards. Another thing that you can do is that you publish it, and then you can decide to update it, because maybe you change location or whatever happened. Before the 12th of November, you can also change again. You go back to your backend, so you log in, you find your action, you edit your action, and then you have to click on update. Again, keep in mind, this is something I mentioned before. For the countries where we have a regional national coordinator, the coordinators have access to all the actions that are being registered. You are not sharing like very secret in the action, because you know that is going on a website. So keep this in mind. The coordinators are able to read your action. Why this? Because the coordinators are supporting me and Virginia basically to check that all the actions are respecting the criteria. So keep in mind, for example, that last year we got 60,000 of action. And we have to be sure that every action is respecting the criteria. We don't want the EWWR be connected to an action that is promoting hate, or that is promoting something that is not respecting our values, or that is, for example, not free of charge. So the coordinators are acting as controllers of the action. So what they can do is to check your action, the description. That's why it's also okay if you write it in your local language, because they can read it. In case of action developers registering action in countries where there's not a coordinator, keep in mind that it's me and Virginia, and between us we speak Italian, Spanish, English, and French. That's all I think. So we are able to understand just these languages. Maybe Virginia speak Portuguese, but I'm not sure. Maybe something. We can understand maybe Portuguese, but that's all. But this is very important, so that you keep in mind that the coordinators might reach you and ask to modify something or to explain a little bit more, because some coordinators are really active and they might say, hey, your action is amazing, but please explain a little bit more this, so that actually you will get more visibility. You might also participate in the awards. So this can happen, but keep in mind that the 12th of November is the last day to actually do any change and to publish them, to make them public. So once you publish your action, how do you find it? It's in the same page where you filled your registration form. On the top, next below the title, you can see a link. It's called permalink, and that's the link to your action. This is, of course, when the action is published, not when it's a draft. So you will find this link, and you can use it to promote it. Another way is to find it on the map. So you just have to zoom in and to find your location. What is important is that in the information that you have to share in the registration form, there's also the address. So you have to say in which country you're organizing the action and in which place, like physically. What it can happen, like putting the address and also the number of the place so that we can actually it can be localized in the map. If you don't give this information, it will not appear in the map. So what I suggest to you, for example, if you are organizing online event, it might happen. So it doesn't have a clear address, but you want it anyways to be visualized in the map because it's easier for people then to find it, especially for participants. Just add maybe the address of your organization, of your NGOs, of your city hall, for example, so that we know more or less where to put it. Without this information, we cannot. It's kind of automatically. It will not be visualized in the map. So just keep this in mind. So if you still have doubts, now we will go through some questions because I saw and I knew that we were going to have some. If you have still doubts on how, keep in mind that we have guidelines, a written registration guide that is also available in different languages. Now I don't remember which one, but for sure the main one of the EWWR where we have more coordinators for sure. So watch or another way is to watch the video tutorial. Is on YouTube, is in English, but you can put subtitles through YouTube. So more or less you might understand it. Even if, well, if you are following this this training, you might understand English. Otherwise, I'm very sorry. Try to speak very slow, even if I'm Italian and usually speak fast. But anyway, even if you are not like super okay in understanding English, it's quite clear because it's a recording of all the process that you have to follow to register your action, to fill the registration form. So I really recommend you to go through the video tutorial. It's not my voice, it's of my previous colleague, but she did an amazing job. So feel free to have a look at it. To close, I mentioned the awards. So the EWWR awards in 2 words is a ceremony that we organize every June. Usually it's at the beginning of June, and is giving visibility and giving a prize to the best action organized in the edition. So this year will be in June 2024. And what we do is basically we select, each coordinator selects one action per category. When there's not a coordinator, is us selecting one action per category in all the countries without a coordinator. So unfortunately, this is the issue. Then we have an EWWR jury that selects 2 finalists and 1 winner for category. And then we meet all together. We invite all the finalists, but also people that were not selected among the finalists. They are really welcome. It's a nice day. It's a kind of Oscar ceremony. And we give visibility. We describe the action that have been selected as the best one of the previous edition, and then we give awards. We reveal the winners and we give an awards to this. So how you can participate in this is that when you register your action, you have to fill in the registration form. You have to say that you are interested to participate in this competition, and then provide some more information about your action, like why you should be considered, why is your action so special, and why you want to compete, why is giving such an important impact at local level, or to who is giving such an important impact. So give us some more information so that the coordinators can actually have a look at it and consider your action as the best of their territory. So I think, yeah, actually this was the last one. So how do I stay updated? 4 important way. So first of all, check the news in our website. We often publish news where we give information about the communication material, about the topic of the year, about the awards, about the registration process, about the deadline, about thematic even information about, for example, in this year, about packaging. Otherwise, another important thing is you have to do is to subscribe to our newsletter, because if you subscribe to the newsletter, you also receive quite key information. For example, we sent a communication to all the people registered to the newsletter about this training so that you can actually keep being updated. Then follow us on social media. This is the best way maybe to really have not a daily, we try to publish as much as possible, but at least a weekly update about the week on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And then, of course, another way is to follow your national coordinator. So check again on the coordinator list if you have one, and see if they usually have social media or website where they provide all the information about this campaign in local language. So that's quite helpful. And that's all. This is the end, let's say, of this question. So of this session, so I will have a look at the question because I saw while talking that there were many. So I see from, I'm very sorry if I don't manage to say the name, Dragica Rubic. So when we already published the event, can we change some details of the event on the EWWR page, things like picture or text? Absolutely, yes. Even if you publish it, you go back to your action, you modify it, you just have to click on edit, you modify what you need to modify, and then click on update. So in that way, it will be automatically updated. I hope I replied. Maybe thumbs up if it's not clear, if it's clear. Otherwise, feel free to write in the chat. Another question coming from Florina Stan from Romania. Can you send us a blank registration form just to see if we need any previous approval? What do you mean, Florina? Maybe we can open your microphone. Virginia, do we manage so that you can give us more? Yeah, you should be able to click on your microphone to open it. It should be next to your camera. Otherwise, you can write more, maybe explain a little bit more your question on the chat. Let's see. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, feel free to write a little bit more clear. I don't know what's which kind of blank registration form you need. But of course, of course, what you can do is, this is the question, you can check the form. You can check the full form before filling it. It's not like that you have to fill it and to be able to see the following question. I don't know if this might be. Okay. Okay, so you might need an approval on the information you want to share. We don't have really a blank registration form. What you could do maybe is to check the guide, the registration guide we have, because there are screenshots of the different sessions, so you might have a quite clear overview on that. Otherwise, get back in contact with me and I will see what I can do. But we don't ask really secret information. But yeah, I understand that while working for public authorities might be trickier. So then the published event, thank you. The published event doesn't need to be in English. No, again, you can write in your language. I would suggest to also add some more explanation in English. But if you are registering an action from the name, I don't know if you are coming from Croatia, but in case, for example, in Croatia, we don't have a coordinator, so it will be me reading your action. So I can't really speak Croatian even if I try to study. So I will need to translate it. Of course, I mean, it's fine with Google Translate. I will be able to catch the sense of your action. But in case if you want to translate it for me, it will be good. But also for other people to understand what you're gonna do. But yeah, in any way you can absolutely also, for example, give a title in your language. Then from Eva, must we contact the country coordinator before registering an action? No, you are absolutely independent from the coordinator association. It's up to you. The coordinator will check your action. That's their role, that's their work. But you don't have to get in contact with them. You don't have to have a one-to-one discussion with them. It's absolutely independent. Thanks for this question because it's actually important. Then I see another question. Is something that is paid from a donor can be also on EWWR? Can you give us an example? Like it's like an event where you have a sponsor. This is what you mean. What is important, you will see if you check the Action Developer Participation Charter, is that the event doesn't have to be, let's say, an excuse to advertise a product, that it doesn't have any connection with the waste prevention, let's say. So this has to be quite clear. So if you are organizing, if I don't know, it's a company that is selling clothes for dogs, and they want to promote their last jumper, this is not the right campaign. What it can happen is that maybe they are doing this jumper with reused textile. So waste reduction is actually involved in this, and it makes sense to promote this sort of event. But the key point of the event doesn't have to be to make money, basically. So try to use also common sense on this. Can we, on a photo of the event, put some names of donor? We understand that some events are also organized like in collaboration with other let's say organization or companies. So in that case, yes. If you do a photo of the event and the event is respecting all the criteria, but it's also, we understand that we are not giving you money to organize the event, so it might be that you get some money from external people. It's fine also to you have to somehow to put the logo or of this other organization. Who is the coordinator for Croatia? Unfortunately, we don't have one, even if I'm really working hard to find one, because I lived in Croatia and it's a shame that we don't have one. But if you have any connection with public authorities that are active on this topic, feel free to get in contact with us so that we can reach them. Perfect. Can we translate to our language or make a little different on poster? Thank you. Sure. So if I will postpone maybe this question to the following section, because we have a session. I will give it to Virginia because I need to take a break. But we have a session now about the communication material and all the languages that is translated in. So if it's not translated in your language and you want to translate it, you can get in contact with us so we can help you and provide you the editable files or make it for you. And that would be great, amazing, if you're outside of, let's say, in a country where we don't have a coordinator. So that would be great. And if you need to, for example, add, I don't know, a logo because you translated a logo of your organization, it's also fine. Can we register local cleanups? Yes, absolutely yes. This is also considered, but I would suggest you to check our sister campaign that is focusing just on cleanups, that is called Let's Clean Up Europe. Maybe Virginia, if you can put the link of their page. They are a sister campaign of EWWR, but they really focus on cleanups. The person is paid from City of Zagreb. That the event is on Project TV. We are talking about. Okay, this is Florian again. Yeah, I want to ask if we can put City Hall's logo on the communication materials, such as poster. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is totally fine. Will this Q&A session be published on the EWWR website? Absolutely, yes. It will be on YouTube, and we will also create a fact sheet with all this presentation, and we will also translate it in all the EWWR languages. So yes, it will be available everywhere. So since I checked the time, maybe I give the floor to Virginia, so I just drink a little bit of tea, so that she's the one in charge of the communication material. She's the one preparing it. She's the one taking care of it, of all our social media. So she's the one ready to explain you where you can find all this material. So Virginia, feel free to take the floor. I will be here changing the slides.
Yeah, thank you, Serena. I'm Virginia Mate, the communication officer of the campaign, and I'm going to show you where to find all the communication materials we have available for all of you. Next slide. Yeah. We have a Google Drive where we share all these communication materials. We produce them in English, but as Serena says, they are also available in different languages thanks to our coordinators, the translation of our coordinators. We have two types of communication materials: general communication materials and yearly thematic tours. The general materials are, let's say, the same for all editions. For example, we have our logo, we have the poster of the campaign with general information, we have informative poster about waste reduction, recycling, reuse. We have email signature as well, etc. So this material can be used to disseminate the campaign and, of course, our message, the EWWR message. If you are participating in the campaign or you are going to participate in the campaign, we recommend you adding the logo to all the publication and resources you produce. Yeah, lets people know that you are part of the EWWR community. We have also the yearly previous slide, sorry. Yeah, we have also the yearly thematic tools. Each edition, we focus on a topic and produce a specific material on it. In this session, you will find the thematic poster of each edition, an infographic and fact sheet with the specific information. Next. Yeah. In this folder, you will find the communication materials of this edition, of course, and also from past edition. So if you are planning an action, for instance, on textile, which was the thematic focus of 2022, feel free to explore last year communication materials. Yeah, this year our topic is packaging. So we prepared a poster that it's translated in 11 languages and a social media kit with visual for the different social network we use in the campaign: Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Next. Yeah. I'm now going to show you the facts we have prepared for this edition. First, we have this infographic on data published by the European Commission on the environmental impact of packaging and packaging waste. In addition, we have created a visual for each of these 6 facts on packaging. So you can use them to raise awareness in your community about this problem, and yeah, this fact is available in 9 languages. Next. We have prepared a fact sheet on a German initiative called Bag Swap Station. This program encourage citizens to reuse their bag and also to contribute to a more sustainable community. So you can use this material as a good practice to inspire you, or why not even to replicate it in your community. A few days ago, we launched an October challenge that aimed to raise awareness about overpackaging and its environmental impact. It's really easy to participate. Yes, all you have to do is share a picture, a photo of unnecessary packaging, and use the hashtag of the challenge. Why overpackaging? The participation instruction and a social media kit are now available, so you can encourage your community to participate in the challenge. In the coming weeks, we will publish new materials. So keep an eye on our website and our social network. And yeah, we are preparing a fact sheet to explain what is behind the 5 main type of packaging: plastic, glass, paper, etc. And we will also share more sustainable alternative. And finally, as the campaign turns 15, we will publish the best stories from past action developers, jury members, coordinators who have participated in the campaign over the years. Next. Oh yeah, was the last slide. I don't know if we have a question on the
I don't
chat.
see in the chat. So as Virginia, as I said before, and you could see more or less, you will be able to access to all the links that Virginia was mentioning. So I think it will be easier for you. But as again, you find everything on the EWWR website. And just to clarify, because I'm not sure I said it yeah, I don't think I said it. When you register an action, Virginia today just show you all the thematic materials that she produced, that we produced on packaging. But you are not forced to discuss and to talk about packaging or to focus your action on packaging. It might be on any other topic. Some people also might decide to focus on food waste, for example, how to reduce food waste, or someone else on textile. Even if these are not the thematic focus of this year, it doesn't matter. The sense of the thematic focus is to raise awareness and to raise the knowledge about the impact or a specific impact of a specific waste. But it's not like forcing you to really focus just on that. So feel free really to let your creativity go and to focus also on something else. But feel free also to get inspired by our thematic focus and then to use our communication material. So I don't know if there are more questions. I see we are really close to the end, but there's one last ball, let's say, on our screen. It's when. So one final slide, actually, just to remind you that we opened the registration on the 4th of September, and we will close them this 12 November. Keep it in your mind, fix it in your calendar with a big red circle, because that's the last day you have to register an action and to publish it, because it might happen that you maybe saved it in draft, but please check that you saved it, that you also publish it before the 12th of November, because we will not be able, like practically, even if you contact us and you cry in front of us because just forgot to publish it and it's still saved as draft, we cannot after the 12th of November include it, so the whole day, but include it by the end of this day, we will not be able to accept your actions. So what is done by the 12th of November is what is done. So then again, the days of the week are between the 19 and the 26th. And also during the week, we are usually, and this year again, we organize this photo contest on our social media, mainly on Instagram and Facebook, to challenge a little bit our action developer to be creative and to share with us some cool photos. And then we select the best one, and then we use that for communication material as well, for all the rest of the edition. Then another information I would like to share with you is that this year it still has to be confirmed 100%, but this year we will have our awards in the beautiful Marseille in France. Still has to be confirmed, also the date. So I really encourage you to subscribe to the newsletter and to follow us on social media because we will share all the information there. So if you don't really want to miss anything, it really helps to keep track of everything that is happening in the week. The big campaign, it's all over a year. I know that it says that it's just 1 week at the end of November, but that's a big lie because it's a year project. It goes on really from the beginning to the end of the year. So I think this is all. I opened these last 3 minutes, but of course we are happy to stay here with you a little bit longer if you need. If you have additional questions, really feel free to write them in the chat, or to contact us, to contact your regional coordinators if you really need some support also from their side. They are amazing people. I have to say that I don't know if think we have some coordinators here today. They are very enthusiastic people on this campaign. They are in love, all of them, they are quite in love with it, and so they are really good in supporting action developers. So really take the advantage of having one in your territory if you have one. I'm very happy maybe we might have a Croatian coordinator next year. We will see, and maybe a Romanian. We are working on that. Thanks a lot for joining us. If there are no questions, I will leave you free to go. Thanks for the thanks. Thanks to you really for joining and for all the questions and for the attention. We managed to put everything in 1 hour. So bravo to us. Thank you everyone and enjoy this 15th edition of the EWWR. Thank you, Virginia. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.